The 90-10 rule, the 80-20 rule, mathematical rule says that if you have a warehouse, in a warehouse, 80% of the items are worth 20% of the value. Therefore, 20% of the volume are worth 80%. 20% of the items are worth 80% of the value, and vice versa. So, if we follow the 90-10 rule, the population of a country, 20% of the members own 80% of the value of the country, of the assets, which shouldn't be that way. Okay. So the 90-10 rule, get rid of the 90% that is obvious that has chemicals. If you read the label, if it says colorings or flavorings, flavor like, or color like, or taste like, then read the label. Learn to read if you don't know how to read. But then learn to read the labels. How many of you read the labels? Oh, quite a bit. Congratulations. Okay. Now learn to read well now. I mean, if it says flavored, colored, preserved, well, everything is preserved, and sometimes they don't tell you that it's preserved. So, the number one item we eat in this continent is white flour. It's wheat. And the problem with wheat is that they scrape the wheat seed and they take away what is good for you. So whole wheat flour, we call it whole wheat because they just get the whole kernel and they grind it up, and that's what you do with this whole wheat flour. The best thing you could do is get yourself a whisper mill or a whole wheat grinder. Grind the flour yourself at home. And buy the wheat yourself. And then you can buy spelt and many kinds of wheat. And you can change the types of wheat that you eat for breads, for pancakes. Okay? If you can afford it. Otherwise, buy whole wheat flour from any place, and when you store it in the refrigerator or in the cooler, in the freezer. Because if you leave it out with a little bit of moisture in it, pretty soon you're going to get all kinds of like little connectors in there, and a little like a thread in there. Those are funguses. After the funguses, the first thing you start getting in powders is toxins. Toxins can be deadly, and toxins are the ones that produce problems with diabetes, with sugar levels, high sugar levels in the body. It is not true that the pancreas, for those people that have diabetes, that the pancreas does not produce insulin. It is not true. Every medication they give you with insulin or pills for your diabetes is full of toxins. There's several types of toxins: neurotoxins, enterotoxins, cytotoxins, and aflatoxins. And those, they thrive in your blood on eating insulin. So those of you that are diabetic, the problem is a consumption of insulin in your bloodstream. So the first thing to do to get rid of it is to start killing those toxins, stop eating toxins. And one way to eat the toxins is to use the antidote against toxins, which is something that ups intensity like that. So you can spray the pill, or you can spray the insulin on the outside, and that because of resonance, it kills the toxins. I forgot to explain clearly what resonance is. Oh, it's very simple. How many people play a musical instrument here? Lots of people. How many people have tuned a guitar? Okay? When you tune a guitar, and I pluck the fifth string, and I'm holding the fourth string on the fourth fret, what happened with the fourth string if I pluck the fifth? It vibrates. That's called resonance. Because they are both tuned, meaning they are both tuned to the same sound, to the same frequency. Okay? So resonance is when I make a sound, and that sound is tuned with something else, and that other item resonates to the same tuning. Like when somebody is singing here and the other person is singing here, and they make the same note, and then they make it look like there's one voice, one note, and both combines together in harmony and sounds beautiful. That's resonance. So, when we have resonance and we play resonance, which is the same frequency of a parasite or a bacteria, but we play resonance with a higher amplitude, with the cycles of amplitude, then the other item blows up into pieces. As for example, we can tune the fourth string and the fifth string to 1 octave higher. And you start playing, and probably when you start playing a certain song, the fifth string breaks into pieces. But not the fourth, because the fourth, it can take a little bit more beating than the fifth string, because it's a lot thinner. So that means that the fourth string did not take the amplitude. Remember the thing about the amplitude? I have a balloon. I'm going to increase the amplitude, put more air in it. Okay? I'm going to increase the amplitude in a string. I'm going to increase the tension, and then I'm going to play it stronger. Increase the amplitude. The string can hold it because it was not made for that octave. So far, so good? Okay. The thing with the earthquake, if we have that earthquake occur only here, the amplitude of the wave of the earthquake is going to just take this building apart. Nikola Tesla showed that in New York. He took a little apparatus in a structured building. He hadn't put the walls in the building, but it was all built with steel. Put it in one corner of the apparatus with a whole bunch of scientists over there. He started tuning his apparatus, and it was vibrating. And he would look for certain frequencies, and the whole building started to vibrate. If he hadn't taken his apparatus away, the whole building would have crumbled into pieces, made out of metal. That's because he was tuning his little apparatus and upping the amplitude, and the amplitude of the building was resonating with his machine, and he was increasing his amplitude of the machine, and that increased the resonance of the metal, and it was going to blow into pieces. So far, so good. Make sense? Okay. How many people have taken a glass of wine? How many people want a glass of red wine right now? Sorry, you can't have it. How many of you have taken a glass of wine made out of crystal, fill it up to the half, and you run your little finger over there? What are we doing over there? Our finger is producing a frequency against the glass. And then once we find that frequency, we make it resonate. And that's the zooming that we hear. And then we find the finger a little bit faster, we up the amplitude. What happens to the water of the wine? It starts jumping around all over the place. Starts to come out of the glass. That's the same thing we do with pathogens in our bodies. That's known science. That's known technology. They just don't teach it. They don't want you to know. Because if you would know, then you wouldn't eat junk. You wouldn't eat sausages. Write down. 90%. Here's the 90%. White flour, white sugar, white salt, only raw salt, not white salt. Salt is a natural preservative. There's no reason to put anything into the salt. It's only to make you sick. So make sure that your salt that you eat is 100% pure. There's nothing in it. Anything that says coloring or flavoring, any sausages, deli type food, take it out. Deli, sausages. What's in the sausage? I kind of like to say that in the sausage you normally find the rear end of the animals that they couldn't sell. Because whatever they can sell as meat, they put it in sausages. That doesn't mean that they make good sausages. And they are good for you if they don't put all those colorants, flavors, and white flour. But since you don't know, and they don't tell you, you don't know what to trust. Unless you go to a butcher shop and so you stand over there next to him and you say, make me a sausage 100% beef. And you sit over there until he makes it and he doesn't have any pork. No carrion eaters, rats, cockroaches, serpents, dogs, vultures, snakes, pigs, shrimp, bottom feeders from the rivers or bottom feeders from the oceans. And that includes pork. All of the carrion eaters, their biochemical composition is incompatible with the human body. It's that simple.
No more
That's,
crabs?
No more crab or lobster?
no more crab, no. Now, all those animals were created and they exist because they unpollute us. They unpollute the rivers, they unpollute the oceans. It's a sin to go out at the mouth of the rivers and catch all that shrimp that is cleaning our feces. I mean, that makes no sense. We're shooting our own legs. Yeah. If somebody wants to eat them, I haven't any problem, but just make sure you grow them in a pond somewhere that is your own pond that you made. But not the stuff that we all... that belongs to everybody, like the oceans and like the mouth of the rivers. Yeah. Does anybody has anything with pork here? Chip or anything like that has pork, or a sandwich or ham or nothing like that, no? I should have brought something with a little bit of pork to give you that famous arm test. But we feed him with feed. The feed is only GMO. I mean, the pork just doesn't eat carrion. Yeah, they eat their own feces. They have that ability. But, again, it has nothing to do with the pig itself. It has to do with the biochemical composition of the pig that is incompatible with our body. So it just goes like that. You don't have to not eat it. You can go ahead and eat it. You're just going to have to pay the price. Yes, sir.
I've heard that pigs eat anything except for teeth.
Except teeth.
Except teeth.
Yeah.
Edible nectar.
Okay, the other major item that we normally eat is pharmaceuticals. We normally consume is pharmaceuticals. I'm not saying don't consume pharmaceuticals. I'm saying heal yourself and lower down that consumption of pharmaceuticals. Look for substitutes. I mean, go after sodium bicarbonate to raise your pH in your system. Sometimes a little bit of drops of peroxide. I mean, you can find in the internet how to drink more oxygen. Peroxide just adds more oxygen to the water. What's wrong with more oxygen to the water? If you're already 76, 78% water. So what's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that. There's lots of write-ups about that. What else am I missing? All this chemical compound stuff. That's the 90% rule. They spray the vegetables. Yes. What do we do with the vegetables? Well, you don't know how to handle them in the stores. And when they put them over there, if a rat or a mice went by at night or a cockroach fell on top of it. That happens all the time. That's normal. So when you get your vegetables, make a pail of water with 7 mL of 3% peroxide per quart. It's in my instructions. And then leave them there for about a minute or so, and that just about kills, go back to oxygen. Kills everything, instead of using chlorine, which might be harmful for you, might not. Your body might tolerate it, but why, instead of using something that might be harmful for you, better to use something that is not harmful for me, something that I'm made out of, which is oxygen. exercise and oxygen is very, very important. And one simple way to exercise in the winter and the summer, which is a very, very good exercise because it vibrates your whole body, is a mini trampoline. Because it's not a high stress exercise. It's a soft stress as you jump up and down, and you can do it anywhere in your house. Try 5 minutes of that. And you're going to be... And that also brings a vibration that is very good for your body, that vibration kind of coincides with what this scientist from Cornell University was talking about, that goes through your whole spine and your whole trunk. And it resonates through your bloodstream. You do it 2 or 3 times a day, 5 minutes, that's all you need. There are things that make sense, that are easy to do, and that are not expensive. So if we decide to change our habits and to invest a little bit more in ourselves, we can live a long time without diseases. And we have much better ability to be able to fence off those diseases as they come. Because we have chemtrails, we have viruses that get polluted in the air, we have mutated bacteria that get polluted in the air that are very, very, very deadly. As they come, we're going to be able to face those off in a better way, if they come. Frequencies can be stored in water, and the water has all kinds of incredible properties. There's a famous scientist that he was brought to the States right after the Second World War. And basically, he died here. He was crying out, really crying, very sad, saying, "They stole all my inventions. They stole everything they had. They made nothing out of me." His name is Victor Schauberger from Austria. Victor Schauberger observed the running water in brooks, and he observed how the fish used to move up the stream. So I leave it as a homework. Investigate about Victor Schauberger and the properties of water. How the water, once it gets starting to get very cold, close to freezing, changes its structure and its resistance. So since long ago, they found out that frequency could be stored in water. That's what we do with this little machine. And we program these frequencies, into this bottle, and I've created a whole bunch of treatments that are for your body. There's about 15 treatments that we have all together. Since I'm a mathematician, and math and physics, we always work with formulas. So from the formula idea, I was always looking for formulas to give to people so that it was easier to do things instead of complicated things. So if we all have a digestive system, I discovered that at the beginning when I started with this, that if you had a stomach issue, and I made a special treatment for you for the stomach, then it worked very well. I mean, whatever you had in the stomach started to go away, but then it migrated to the kidneys, migrated to the liver, migrated to the lungs, and then you came back with a cold, or you came back with a headache because it migrated to the head, and then created a side effect. And I used to get so upset about it. I mean, they became my enemy. Lots of prayer, lots of meditation, lots of experimentation to how to get rid of those side effects. So I discovered through a lot of experimentation that I could make one treatment for the digestive system, because I discovered that all of the areas from the mouth to the rectum are compatible. Can you imagine the mouth compatible with the rectum? Well, they are. I found that out. So I created one treatment that treats all of those things. And I put all the antidotes, so I put in that treatment all the frequencies that's got to do with all those organs: mouth, throat, stomach, gallbladder, liver, pancreas, small, large intestine, colon, rectum. So when you start to treat yourself with it, They are not going to migrate to the liver. They're going to try to migrate through the bloodstream into the lungs or through the lymphatic system somewhere else. So I'm trapping them now. So they're going to have to go out with the feces or try to migrate to the lungs. So they're going to migrate to the lungs and find out that you have an issue with the lungs. It's a little bit weak, so I'll give you the one for respiratory. Nose, trachea, bronchioles, lungs, kidney because the blood is there. The lung communicates with the kidney. And then lymphatic system is connected to the lungs. So now I don't let them go in there because the lymphatic system is already protected also. But then they might escape through the bloodstream into the head. So if something weak at the head level and you get headaches or you get stress or whatever, now I give you head, brain, neurons, lymphatic system, spinal cord. So I don't let them go there. So but if you have an issue with your heart, then I do one for the heart. It's called heart, cardiovascular, heart, blood stream, arteries, veins, lungs, because the blood goes into there, kidneys, the blood goes into there, spleen, the blood goes into there. So I don't let them go through the bloodstream. They're going to have to move out through the lymphatic system or through the feces or through the urine. So all of a sudden you are protected because you're attacking them in all corners, from all angles. So you see changes in a matter of days, in a matter of hours sometimes. So I want to do an experiment here. Who is sick here? Who has some sort of pain right now, some sort of issue, some sort of symptom? What kind of symptom?
My fingers burn.
Right now it's hurting. Is it hurting? You can feel that pain. Could you come here for a moment? I'm going to give an example of resonance. Okay, could you, what's your name?
Pearl.
Pearl. And she looks like a pearl.
Thank you.
Pearl, in a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to gauge that discomfort to 10. Okay?
Maybe 5.
No, make it 10.
10.
Okay? Make it 10. I want you to up the scale to 10. Okay. Now, I'll give you something that resonates with these tendons over here. Where is the pain?
Actually, my wrist.
Your wrist. Okay, that resonates. I'm going to give you something that resonates with your wrist. That's got to do with the bone structure, the ligaments and the tendons over here, okay? And then that resonance is the frequency of those tissues in there. But I have already programmed the antidotes that she needs to help that issue. So the frequency that I have in here, which is the frequency of the cells, are going to resonate with her cells in the wrist. But I'm transporting the antidotes. So I'm going to have her hold on her hand the treatment that is called for that, to see if that resonance comes down. Remember that the two frequencies over there with the heart, and then if I combine those, then the level should come down, the symptoms should come down. Let's try it out. I didn't know her until she came today. So I didn't pay her to do this test. She's not getting any commission for that, regardless of her response. So the first one I'm going to give her is something called metabolic. So when she holds it, the resonance that is programmed in here is going to go through her body. So remember, it's 10. If it goes down, you're going to tell us. Move it around.
It's gone.
How much? From 10 to?
I don't feel anything.
Magic. What is magic? The inability of us to know how it happened. Magic doesn't really exist.
That's incredible. That really is.
You can sit down.
Thank you.
And we all have this ability. But is it magic? I just proved to you scientifically how it works. I just drew the formulas over there, not the formulas, but the graphs, how it was going to work, Now I'm trying to prove to you that this works. She was holding here metabolic. That has to do with rebuilding the heart tissue to restore the capacity of the body to absorb minerals and to avoid the accumulation of cholesterol. Anybody else? Yes?
You have, well, a little bit of a cough. I'm overcoming kind of, but I've had like a chronic sore throat that's on and off for over a year.
Okay, but since we're going to do a quick test over here, let's talk about the discomfort. Can you measure the discomfort over here, scale 1 to 10, as being 10? Sore throat, scratchy.
Like this in here a little bit.
Okay, can you come here? What is your name?
Debbie.
Debbie. Where are you from?
Originally?
No, from around here.
Oh, Downingtown.
Okay, wherever that is. So, the first one I'm going to give her is respiratory. We'll see if this one works for her. I can run a test and find out exactly which one works for her, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have her, you're going to hold her in your hand, and you're going to tell us if the symptom goes down. Now it's 10, if it goes down to 9, to 7, to 8, to 5, or to 0.
Okay. Okay, I still have it.
Is it 10?
No, it's less. Wait a minute, it's vibrating. It's, I don't know.
Give us a wild guess. Your best guess.
It's probably like a 3. It's really reduced.
Wow, 3, okay. Let me give you another one, which is going to be cellular. Cellular helps to rebuild, helps you to get rid of whatever stuff in the cell rebuilding capacity of your body. So it strengthens that area.
Post-nasal drip is probably the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cellular has also lymphatic, which is that post-nasal drip thing.
Oh, okay.
Post-nasal, I'll just repeat it for her. Post-nasal drip is also another issue that she has.
And you said lymphatic. Okay.
Yes.
I do have a problem with my lymphatic system.
She has a problem with the lymphatic system as well.
Mm-hmm.
All treatments deal with the lymphatic system, but I will have one specific treatment just for the lymphatic network, especially when there are lymphomas, tumors or aberrations with the lymphatic system, and the collectors or the capillary lymphatic vessels.
I'm getting choked up. Okay.
She's getting choked up.
Wow.
Why? This stuff is flowing down now. The openings of the lymphatic system are starting to get unclogged, so the stuff is draining from her head, coming down to the throat.
I'd say it's gone.
Now it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. I'll see you Monday.
I didn't do anything. I mean, she did it to herself. You can call me a healer, but I haven't healed anything. I mean, you just gave her something that she held, and the body healed itself. So I don't heal anything. I'm giving you tips how to heal yourself. Okay? And you can do it with somebody else. Give them the same tips. Dr. McCoy. Anybody else?
How about a muscular pull in the groin? Or would that be
Muscular
something
pull
else?
in the groin.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a constant ache.
You know what I'm going to give him? I'm going to give him lymphatic. I have the hunch
Okay.
that it might be the lymphatic.
Pardon? Now I have to walk to see what.
Yes.
It's not as great, I don't think.
These are the mother bases. Homeopathy is called the tinctures. I'm holding the mother base for that to make a treatment. Hold cellular.
It's not as great as there. It was like a 6, maybe it's like a 4 now.
It's like a 4. It was a 6, it's a 4 now.
Yeah.
Okay? Give you metabolic.
Just together?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, we have vibration over there. The water is vibrating in VLF, very low frequencies, which is compatible with him. So that resonance in the body is making his body resonate. But that frequency that is resonating his body is carrying, like your cell phone or the TV, is carrying the antidotes that he needs and that you all need. So right away, this brain, when it senses that it has antidotes to take away the sickness, then the brain cuts down the pain. The brain is the one that produces pain. It's very smart. The brain's very smart.
I would say it's reduced. But
From 6 to
6 to maybe 3.
maybe 3,
Okay.
50%.
Okay.
It's not too bad for you standing here for
Thank you.
30 seconds.
Thank you.
Welcome. That doesn't mean that he's healed. You know, we took some of the pain away, which is what the pharmaceuticals do. They give a little bit of a push. Your headache doesn't hurt, and you say, oh, I can go to work, I can go to school, I can go to study now. But then the pain comes back again later on, so you take another pill. So in those pushes that the medication gives you, sometimes the body has a little lapse of time to heal itself. So if it doesn't heal itself, then you go back to pharmaceuticals to keep taking something else. But your cholesterol keeps coming up. Since the cholesterol goes up, now they have to give you a pill for the cholesterol. Now you start taking it for a while. Then they give you a pill for the kidneys because the kidneys are full of retaining water. So now they give you one for that. Then you start with a problem with the prostate. Then you start with this arthritis, you can hardly walk. See, as we do things to the body, where the body doesn't restore itself, but we just treat it with something that numbs the symptom, then we start causing an irreversible problem in the body. So find a solution. So that's why sometimes juicing works. Why does juicing work? Because you do several things while you're juicing. First, you stop eating junk. That's the number one thing that you do. Then you start drinking more oxygen, which is more water. And you probably look for something like Fiji water or some sort of water that's good for you. And you stop drinking then polluted water, which is potable water. Potable water, polluted water, it's the same thing. That's where pot comes from. Pot, polluted, pot. Marijuana, pot, potable. They all rhyme together here. So you start doing Brussels sprouts or whatever in your juices and fruits and vegetables, and you have enzymes, amino acids. So you have things that actually promotes the cell reproduction in your body. And you stop doing the chemicals. So now the body has a little bit more nutrition that is good for you, and then you keep doing it, and all of a sudden, cancer goes away. Because you're not feeding the cancer with the chemicals, and you're giving the body a boost. So in that boost, the body recovers itself. So there's many cures for cancer, arthritis, and many other diseases. You just have to do them. So that's why there's so many things, and so many naturopaths that do good things. But there's a problem that a lot of the naturopaths use lots of pharmaceuticals in supplements because they don't know how to test for supplements. So they start selling all these supplements because the store says that it's good for you, they're 100% pure, and they're a reputable source. But then they don't know how to test for those supplements, and then they give it to the person doesn't get better, spends a lot of money, and then goes on and on and on and on, and fall back into the same rut. Anybody else? Okay, let me treat her. Yes. Hi. What is your name?
Susan.
Susan.
I have two things. One is I have this thing in my wrist. I had it diagnosed. It's called Corvin's tenosynovitis or something. It's something.
It's
with the
called something
tendons.
with the tendon,
Yeah.
unpronounceable. Something in the wrist that it hurts. Does it hurt all the time?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And more when I sleep, yeah.
It's not translatable, so let's leave it like that. I mean, it just hurts and constantly hurts, right?
Yeah, when I do certain movements, yeah.
When she does movement, it hurts. And that's it.
Well, I've also have, my immune system needs to be charged.
Okay, that's,
I've had-
make an appointment with her.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's talk about this one for now,
This one
okay?
is pain,
Okay.
yeah.
So the pain when you move the wrist is, make it 10.
It's 10.
It's a good 10, okay.
It's a good 10.
Okay. And I'm going to give her both metabolic and cellular. How many times have you used metabolic and cellular because people are in constant pain?
Either hand.
Self-reproduction, doesn't matter. Even in the left hand. Why there's no difference between right hand and left hand for her to hold it? Because the electricity, the frequencies work at the speed of light. It's all over her body. Boom, instant.
There is absolutely no pain.
She said there's absolutely no
None.
pain.
Nothing. Nothing.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
There's a swimming pool over there. Could you go and walk on water, please?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dr. What did you actually give her for?
A treatment called metabolic and cellular, which is for cell reproduction. Yeah. Have you seen how many times I've used these two? Because the number one thing that you guys have to do is to bring your cell reproduction back up to par, to normalize. And then deal with the other things. Otherwise, your cold doesn't go away, the asthma doesn't go away, the heart murmur doesn't go away because your aortic valve deteriorated and your papillary muscles that activate the aortic valve is in shambles. So your murmur is not going to go away. So, of the people that came forward, how many people the pain has come back?
Well, I just still have the drainage.
Yeah, but what about that discomfort with the pain that you felt?
It's reduced greatly.
But did it start to go up again?
I think so.
Yeah, it started to go up a little bit. Why? Because now she needs to take the antidote in herself and then continue to take it. Every time I take an antidote, it's like a light bulb that I light up in a dark room. You light it up, you see. Went down again, it's dark. You light it up, you see, and then it went down again automatically, it's dark. So, every time I take the antidote, then it works. I give a push to my body. But then if I have a cold or something, I have to go and repeat it. If the colony of bacteria or parasite that I have, depending on how great it is, if I spray, some of them are going to try to run away, some other ones are going to get blown up by the frequencies, you know. They're going to pop, like he said in the beginning. I like that word, pop. We're going to pop them. But then the colony continues to reproduce itself. If I do it every 3 or 4 hours, during those 2, 3, 4 hours, the colony continues to reproduce itself like it happens when you go to bed. When you go to bed, you don't drink them, you don't take them because you need to rest. So when you get up in the morning, if you have a major sickness, you're going to get up and do another session of this stuff every 10, every 15 minutes until you bring the colony down again. You continue doing that for a few days until the disease goes away because you're getting rid of whatever causes the disease. Somebody over there had a...
Jen, right, I have tinnitus and ear pain
Ear ringing.
and pain.
Okay, can you come over here, please? Remember when we talked about the ears? The most times the problem with the ears is a clogging of the ears by a pathogen, a parasite, a fungus, or something like that. She's got tinnitus, ringing in the ears, and a little bit of pain. So I'm going to give her one called ears. there's another one called head, but I didn't put ears. There was the one called head, because the ears is a very unique organ. It's an internal and also an external organ, to put it that way, because the organ, there's a conduct that goes around, and the air goes all the way into your brain, to your head. There's air that goes in and out. So it's a very, very unique organ. And I found out that if I combined the frequencies with the one for the head, it didn't work. It was like 50% efficient. But if I made one specific for the ears, it worked 100%. What's your name?
John.
John. So the pain was, or discomfort was 10. So we'll see if that discomfort goes down 1%, 2%,
Do I shake it?
whatever you want. It's the same if you shake it or if you don't.
The pain's diminished.
Like you, from 10 to, pain is diminished.
Tinnitus is still there.
Tinnitus is still there. How much did the pain diminish?
It throbs, so I'm waiting for the next throb.
Okay? It's throbbing. So I'm going to do something else. That throbbing is the lymphatic system. When it swells up over there and then the blood flows, you feel when it flows across the lymphatic system, the swelling up, and you feel like. So I'm going to give her head. To help the areas around the head over there.
The pain is gone.
The pain is gone.
Tinnitus is still there.
Tinnitus is still there. What a nasty tinnitus. Same level of tinnitus.
Going
She's
down.
listening, but the tinnitus doesn't let her listen. It's gone down a bit. I'm going to give her lymphatic. To see if the swelling with lymphatic helps some of that, so the lymphatic is released so that tinnitus doesn't affect as much.
The pain's gone. The tinnitus is still holding.
Same level?
Not as intense.
Not as intense. So you need to take ears and you need to take head to get rid of that.
Thank you.
And I'll say, maybe she'll get rid of the tinnitus 50%. So it would be better a little bit that tinnitus and the rest stays there. What's wrong with doing good? Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Do you have anything from cataracts?
Yes. The cataract is normally a colony of virus, parasites or bacteria or fungus that are living in your eye, and they start to build a tissue where that's the colony. So if we kill them, lots of times the system, your body is able to absorb all of that and the cataract disappears, so it diminishes quite a bit. Yeah. Anybody else?
I just have a question
Yes?
for Jen. Is that, in other words, what you had her do, is that totally, like, if over time, could that reduce it even further, or are you just saying that 50% for now? Is that?
It'll come back. It'll come back because I haven't finished.
No, what I'm saying is if she were to be on treatments, could at some point the tinnitus actually?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. The question is if she was taking the treatments, if the tinnitus would diminish quite a bit more. I'll say a minimum of 50% for your case. But most things are not chronic. Yes, sir.
Tendonitis.
Where? Tendonitis, shoulders. Is it hurting right now? When you go like that?
I have to move.
Can you move, please?
I have to get it in
Yeah,
a certain position. I can
Okay,
feel it. If
go
I-
ahead.
If I'm like this, it's okay.
yeah.
It's not flexible like this.
Go back to metabolic and cellular again. What is your name?
Bill,
Bill. You see how his hand shakes when he goes like that? And he shakes? Okay, that's because already the neurons for the information store is a little bit compromised and therefore is not able to sustain that movement. So, Parkinson. Remember about Mr. Parkinson? A little bit of that starting there. Any twitches? Anything has gone down?
yes.
How much?
Oh, 60%.
60% down. But let's work on this shake. Let's see if that shake kind of goes down a bit.
It shakes because the tendon
I know, but it has to do.
is tight.
Yeah, but it has to do also with the brain that they can't control. The tendon is in position, it's changing, and when it's changing the position, then the arm is shaking. It's not shaking there, maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
Maybe 70%, 60% less.
Yeah. Well,
So-
look, the harder I push,
Yeah,
it's straining, so
right,
it wants to go back.
right. Just go like this. Let's see. Bring it down and then move it up. See how he shakes once he
Yeah.
gets it up there?
It's because the tendon's tight and
Right.
it wants to go back to here.
What do we rebuild a tendon with? What do you think he needs? We didn't bring granola, did we? I have some here. Now, I'm going to give her some food source, which is very good for him, to see if by holding this granola, which is nutrition, that would get better, along with that. So I put it over here in shirt pocket. Give it a second, give your brain a second. 15, 20 seconds. Okay, try now. Did it get any better?
No,
Same level of pain.
it's not pain, it's tightness.
Tightness, yeah.
It's looser and it's not, it's,
When you get on nutrition, it takes a little bit longer than the frequencies, yeah. I think he just wants a massage. But that would help. Eat granola, take the treatments, go to hot water, go to a pool with hot water. If there was minerals in the hot water with lots of salt or something like that, or if you have a jacuzzi, put a pound of salt over there, have a good salt. And then go in there, the minerals are going to get absorbed, and then you're going to feel a lot better.
hot pad?
Hot bath, yeah.
Hot pad?
That would work, but put some salt, some minerals.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay?
thank you.
One way to put some salt, there was this lady that had in her stomach from here looked like the moon. Like Swiss cheese over here. Yeah, like Swiss cheese. That's a better description. So she's had that problem for a while. So she showed me the problem and I said, well, let me try something different. She doesn't have a lot of money, she's very poor, and she just can't buy the food that she needs. So she's there eating bread like crazy, especially white bread. I said, substitute it for vegetables, substitute it for corn, tortillas, and so on and so forth. But sometimes in your culture, you can't make that change because you don't want to. Pizzas are too good, right?
I can't eat it, I'm allergic.
See, she says she's allergic. She's learned that. Yeah, yeah. So I said, do you have any type of oil at home? I gave her a metabolic seller, and she says yes. Okay, why don't you get some of that oil and mix a tablespoon of salt, and then I'm going to give you the metabolic, the seller, and I'm going to give you another one called weight loss or weight control. Weight loss works based on the famous HCG hormone. That basically the pregnant woman produces an HCG hormone that whether you eat or not, the body is going to be sacrificed to feed that baby. Okay? So the first thing that the body is going to sacrifice is the stored fat. All that tissue, cellulitis that is hanging around there. So that's very good to take that cellulitis away. It works. It works very well. 2 weeks later, she came back. 90% of the Swiss cheese was gone in 2 weeks. So now I have another recipe. So I said to her, oh, add more oils. Make sure there's 3 or 4 oils in there. Because the oils, what do the fats do? Remember, we just go back to Nutrition 101. What are the fats good for in the body?
Energy.
To process, yes, energy, but they process the heavier type of nutrition, which is minerals. Okay? So when you don't process minerals in your body, what happens? Cholesterol goes up. Minerals stay in your bloodstream. You saturate your kidneys. Then kidney problems, kidney stones. Then bladder problems. It's all connected. So when you apply all that fat in there, then the body started to reproduce better and absorb that fat because it was a good fat. Then I said, do you lose weight? She looks a little bit thinner. And she goes, no, I haven't lost a thing. Because now the body is a little bit thinner, and not thinner, same weight, but a little bit less volume because she's processing the fat correctly. So she's building the bone structure and the ligaments and the tendons and the areas that she was not building before. Another example. One guy with diabetes, he looked like blown up like that. So I gave him the treatments. 2 weeks later, I looked at him and said, wow, you lost a lot of weight. And he looked different. And he goes, that's really strange. Everybody tells me that I lost weight, but I weighed exactly the same. What's going on with me? I said, well, you rebuild muscle and bone structure, which were already with a little bit of osteoporosis. Now the energy and the fat is being used correctly to rebuild you. So you lost mass, volume, but not weight. Some explanations make sense when things are logical and they make sense.
What type of oil? Like olive oil or?
Olive oil. She used almond oil. Let me see. Yeah, almond. She used almond oil. So I told her to add olive oil and some other essential oils she could find.
How much?
She just rubbed it in with salt. Yeah.
Exterior.
Yeah. She just rubbed it in, but she was taking weight loss and cellular. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, you had a question. Sorry.
Constant sort of a buzzing in my ears, just like it's very soft and it's just constant.
She's got a constant buzzing in her ears, very soft, but it's constant. That's the difference between ringing in the ears. Usually the buzzing has to do with clogging of the ears, and when the sound waves come in, they kind of like reverberate, and then you hear like something is blowing into your ear, right?
Yeah, it's, and I try to wash it, and I put all kinds of oils, in, to soften the wax, and
I tried to wash it, to put all kinds of oils to soften the wax,
It's like,
and it's the little droning noise, yeah. Okay.
just a constant,
So first I'm going to give her ears.
okay.
You're welcome. Then I'm going to give her lymphatic. Then I'm going to give her head. The same?
Just a tiny.
A tiny bit, she says. Lymphatic.
Still there.
Let's say the same.
Same.
If you don't notice it too much, it's better to say the same. Let's go for head. And I have one more. No, she would have said already it's going down, but she hasn't said that, right?
The buzzing has gone down, but the fullness, it just feels like something's in there, stuck in there.
The buzzing has gone down, but she feels like something in there, clogged up. One more, cellular.
Am I holding it? My fingers don't shut very well.
Just by touching it is enough. Any change?
I don't hear the buzzing,
She doesn't hear the buzzing now.
but it's still a fullness in there.
There's still a fullness in there. So something is clogged up still. So when the sound waves go in, they boom, boom. Okay. Can you stand here for a moment, please? Right here. Let me put this away. And I'm going to run a quick test on you. I'm going to have you hold this. Now we are electromagnetically connected. I am going to put this on my arm, and I'm connected with her. Instead of you could touch her, I used to do that. Sit around and touch the leg of the other person, but then we have clothes in there that affects the conductivity. So this is 1-to-1. So it's more specific. So I'm going to run a test on her. I'm going to go directly to the ears, to the ear frequency. And then I picked up the ear frequency and it gives me 24 clicks. What is a click? Click is like stretching your hand out and then pushing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 23, 24, goes away. But instead of pushing her arm, which she's going to have to go and put a pad on her shoulder, if I do that, we develop a technique. Technique is sensing the resistance, R in electricity, the resistance of the electromagnetic flow in my body or my fingers. So I hold the ears, now I have to put it down again, hold the ears and then rub and count. And count, and I can feel the resistance. That's teachable. That's what I teach to a lot of people, how to do that so you can test yourself. Okay? Or you can test food sources and food things, how good they are good for you. You hold the item and you click how much energy is giving you. Boom, 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 boom. Instead of pushing somebody else's hand. You can push somebody else's hand to have the person tell you how good it is. But you can do it yourself by clicking. Make sure the item has 10 and above clicks. So I found the ear resonates positive in her, meaning that she wants, her ear wants the frequency of a normal ear. Because the brain knows that if it combines the frequency of a normal ear with her ear, she'll get better. That's the way this works. Okay, remember the addition, getting the average of the two frequencies? Now I'm going to go and track viruses and bacteria to see, or parasites or funguses. 15 in viruses, and the viruses, it's got to do with dengue-type viruses, parvovirus, retrovirus, and this type of virus, papillomas, and so on and so forth. I got 15 types of viruses in there, and that family is coming up positive. Okay, nothing else popped up, no parasites, no funguses, no bacteria, is viral. So now I'm going to be more specific. So I'm going to give her the ears that's going to carry as an antidote, the very specific antidotes of viruses that she needs. So give me that back and hold that. Tell me if it gets a little bit better now. Still there. So still there. That means she has to take those treatments for a while until we get rid of that. The ringing went down. Okay, something got better, but we need to process a little bit more and treat her more. Okay?
I'll see you tomorrow.
She'll see me tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Question?
Yes.
You mentioned your water filter before. Is that water reverse osmosis or not? Because I understand that's the best.
This is not a filter.
It is not.
No. Reverse osmosis needs electricity. This doesn't require electricity. This doesn't filter anything. She is trying to figure out how it works. What is that? This is a purifier, water purifier. And the way it works is when the water goes through here, the water swings around some crystals over there at very high speed and forms vortex, like the ones you see in the twisters. The waters do that, and then so it breaks up the molecules of water into hydrogen and oxygen. And that hydrogen and oxygen, that's the one that do the work. The water is the one that doing the work, not me. I'm just using ingenuity to force the water into spins so that it breaks apart into its electromagnetic components, which is the atoms of hydrogen and oxygen. Those are the ones that do away with the pathogens. But they do something else, which it took me about a year to discover. They do alchemy in the water. Because since the atoms are loose, there's loose extra atoms of hydrogen and oxygen. When one of these atoms finds a molecule of heavy metal, like lead or mercury or something like that, binds itself to that heavy metal molecule, and then it makes the heavy metal molecule non-toxic to you because it hydrolyzes the heavy metal or oxidizes the heavy metal. And since your hydrogen and oxygen makeup, that's compatible with you, so the body just throws it out without staying in your body and having a side effect. Magic.
The other question had to do with the arm test. If you're in a grocery store with no one with you to put pressure on you.
Okay, let me show that. Okay, the other ability that we have with this particular water purifier is that you can put it after the meeting in your house. So if you put it after the meeting in your house, you install it there, so it purifies the whole house, any water in the house. When you wash your car, have you noticed how all those calcium deposits, you have to go and dry your car because it builds up calcium deposits? Not with this. It looks like you waxed the car. No calcium deposits.
Iron and calcium in this area.
This area.
And well water.
That gets a lot better with this. And then the pH is raised up a little bit because the water is called restructured water. If you look at molecules in an atomic microscope with restructured water, you're going to see the water like forms hexagons. But when the water is not structured, you're going to see it all jagged up, all decomposed. There's a famous Japanese guy called, I think it's Yamamoto, and he took pictures of water when you do a prayer or you do something, you say something good or something bad, the water transforms itself. The water reacts immediately when it gets those frequencies and touches the water. Immediately reacts. It's at the speed of light. So we use the same technology for the human health. You invest on this thing once, doesn't need any maintenance. You install it once, and it also, I leave it like this because I also come with attachments so that you adjust it to your house needs, depending on whether you have copper or PVC or whatever it is. You have to put an adapter here. If it's 1/2 inch, 3/4. Okay, what was the other question besides the purifier? She told me about
Grocery store.
okay, grocery store. Jeff, could you come here for a moment? Let's say, Jeff, you and I are buying something that's good for us. We're going to test to see. Can you stand right there so that you can see this table? So I want you to hold this tomato when I tell you, because I want to test for tomatoes. So we're going to say that this is a tomato. So Jeff is going to tell me if that tomato has chemicals or not. If the chemicals is bad for Jeff, then the tomato is going to show negative on him, so he's going to lose his strength. So stretch it. I'm going to push forward, then push back. Hold back. Okay? 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 Right there. Now hold the tomato. Pick it up. Okay? Can't move him. Can't move him. Now hold this other tomato. Hold that one. Okay? Is it good for me? No.
This one seems a little weaker with it.
Yes, right. Because this one has chemicals. That one doesn't. Actually, I pushed a lot on him. We don't need to do that. Just a little bit of a push, like that, very slight like that, and then he noticed the difference. Just pick the, let me see, pick this up. Okay? Just a little bit of a push like this.
At the grocery store with somebody, so what's the clicking?
I'm going to get there. Okay. See the difference? Just a little bit of a push. He feels, hey, wicked me a little bit. That's all I need. So you choose another one.
But he's alone. Who's pushing? Nobody's pushing him. He's all alone. So how do we figure
I'm
that
going to get there. I'm going to get there. You can sit down. Thank you. See, when you're alone, it's a little bit more difficult. Takes more training. Right, Charlene? Yes. Takes a lot more training. So I'm going to give you a trick. But then you have to do it at home. Don't try with something that is negative for you, that you already know that is negative for you, like white flour or white sugar. Try with something that you know is good for you, like whole wheat flour, or wholesome granola like the Becky's producing, okay? And what you do is you rub your fingers. Sometimes you have to apply a little bit more pressure, or a little bit less pressure until you find the comfort zone. Because when you touch something, you are immediately affected by the energy of that what you touch. So when you apply pressure over here, a little bit of pressure, I touch something that's good for me. Let me see if you can hear this. That's the pressure I'm putting. I'm going to grab this. What's this? Bad pepper. The rubbing goes away. Can you hear it? I'm not touching anything. Purify water with one of those from Becky's kitchen. Does anybody have bottled water here?
I mean, I'm worried from.
Can you come here for a moment? Let me see if it's any good. What's your name?
Jess.
Jess. Jess, okay. Can you stand here, please? So she bought it, bottled water. So we're going to do a test with this water that went through one of these purifiers at their house, Jeff and Becky's house. Okay. Yes, I got this water. Because I got this other water here for me to drink. It's the same water, which is this one over here. I'm drinking that one, the same water. So we're going to do a test on her water that she bought. We won't talk about any brand names here, okay? Don't mess up the economy. Arm out, please. So I'm going to do a little bit of a push that way, and you push the other way.
Okay.
Right there. Right there. Okay. Now hold your water. A little bit of a push. A little bit of a push. A little bit of a push. Hard. 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 With other water. Hard. 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 Okay. Okay. Stronger with the water. Without the water.
Without the water?
Without the water, stronger. So the water is not even neutral for her. If it's not even neutral, if it doesn't give me any positive clicks, positive strength, I better not drink it. At least it has to be neutral. Okay. I'm going to try this one. Hard. Push it away. Hard. Hard. Open your legs a little bit so you can do more strength. Hard. Okay. Hard. Okay, let's try this one again. How much more stronger that one?
A little bit more stronger.
A little bit stronger, yeah. Okay, I need a strong guy here. You can sit down. Thank you. How much did you pay for that water? Jess?
No, I poured it from back there.
Oh, you just pour it from there.
Well, you had some other in
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, I poured it from my house.
A strong guy here. Somebody strong? Okay. Okay, left arm. Now I'm going to stretch arm. I'm going to drive him over all the way. Okay. Again. Okay. Now with this water, all the way. Okay, come on, all the way. Come on, come on. Anybody else want to try it? This is the purified water. The reason is that if the water is pure, doesn't have anything, and you are 78% water, so that water that's positive is going to offset whatever negative stuff you have in your water, so it gives you that much strength. Because his water is polluted. So the combination of the two will give him a push. So drinking good water is always going to give you a push. When I say good water, something like Fiji water, something that's pure water, is good water. Potable water is not pure water, by definition of the World Health Organization.
Please explain that cooking method. I am not getting it. Are you saying that the more it sounds?
The more clicks something gives me, the more resistance. In electricity, it's called resistance in physics. So the more resistance something gives me when I touch it, the better it is for me. Or the more my body needs it. Okay?
So the louder the click, the better it is?
Right.
The softer it is, the worse it is.
Right. But there's no way to measure the softness. Because once the fingers rub soft, you can't hear them anymore. I mean, there's no resistance. You follow me? There's no way to measure. It's minus 10 or minus 20 or minus 30. It's another technique, but I'm not going to explain it here because you'll get really confused. It's a way to test to see how bad something is for you. But you need to have something on your hand that I fabricate. Now somebody had another question here. Yeah.
Okay, this is going to sound strange. If you have one bottle of water and you have to get it through the entire day, instead of drinking it, can you just hold it? And then it'll fortify you throughout the day. But why wouldn't it be, though? I mean, if it makes you strong, just holding it. But you're not hydrating just holding it. So you think that...
Since anytime you hold something that's good for you, it's going to better you a little bit. Okay? But the fact is that your body is using up water constantly, and the heat in your body is excreting water through the lymphatic system. So you need to replenish that water, because if you don't replenish the water, then you start to accumulate toxins and processed protein and processed minerals and toxins into your lymphatic system. Then you end up clogged up, and that's where
You're holding it as just at that moment, and it's
Right.
not sustainable.
Right, right. I mean, your body is dynamic, so you need to feed it what it needs in order to keep reproducing itself.
You said we can't have any shellfish, any lobsters, things like that. Can we eat chicken? Can we eat beef?
Yes, actually, to me, beef is probably the best protein there is, besides fish from the ocean, fish that has scales or has, you eat it with the skin like red snapper. The reason why, eat the skin of the fish because you have the omega-6, 9, 12.
Not a catfish.
But not a catfish. Not this Singapore fish or Vietnam fish, Pangasium or Basa, because they are catfish. That's what they are. Bottom feeders. Okay. Yeah, they're bottom feeders. But now, so the best thing for you to do is to, when you go to the market, buy the fish with the skin. You pay a lot less money, and you'll be giving your body the nutrition that the body needs from the essential oils, from those omega-3, 6, 9 from the fish. And also, you're not dumping away, you're not paying to dump away something that is very good for you. So it's going to cost you a lot less. Then the other question was about
Well, about chicken.
Chicken and beef.
You know, beef.
Okay, beef is probably the best protein out there. The cow has about 5 stomachs, and the cow has a way to process and chew, and so on and so forth. And then with those chewing and the cud that she produces, she basically kills everything. So it's better grass-fed cows than if you do grain-fed, because if you do grain-fed cows, then you end up, it's like eating chicken. Chicken is less than cows in that sense, because chicken in America and in Costa Rica is fed with corn and soy, pretty much genetically modified, because now they are crossbreds. There's crossbred. And for animals, they don't watch out that the corn that you eat is not GMO. So most chicken is fed with GMO corn in this country.
Organic helps to know.
That's better, that might be better, but sometimes organic, depending where it comes from. So the beef falls between the 10%. Eat anything you want, pretty much, because you're so much better off than eating sausages, okay, or eating fried chicken. Why is it that I don't recommend fried chicken? Because fried chicken, whatever they put around it has colorants, flavorings, savorings, preservatives. That's the main reason. So if you're going to eat chicken, eat chicken on the grill. But since the chicken breast, salud, chicken breast doesn't taste like anything. So they put all kinds of flavorings on the chicken breast to make it taste like something. So instead of chicken breast, eat legs or wings, thighs, that have a lot more, is more tasty and also a lot cheaper. So following my recommendations, you're probably going to save about 20% of your eating bill at home. From that 20%, you keep 10 and you give me the other 10 for the first 2 years. Her first.
Curious, if you were to buy an organic rotisserie chicken or turkey breast,
Okay, if you're going to buy rotisserie, eat anything you want, pretty much. Because even though they put chemicals and things and flavors on them, when it's turning around in the heat, it's dumping all kinds of fat and water and everything else, it's within the 10%. It's pretty good for you.
Is soaking your vegetables in vinegar? That's what I've heard, to soak them in
Vinegar or peroxide.
Either
Yeah,
one.
either one, yeah. But you want vinegar from a fruit. You don't want that inorganic vinegar from chemicals. I'm not going to mention those names that start with,
So not white vinegar?
no,
Apple cider?
or not dark vinegar. Apple cider vinegar from apples or from bananas or something like that, or Italian vinegar from grapes.
So what about putting lemons in your water
Putting lemons in the water. When you put lemons in the water, don't just put lemons in the water. Put lemon in the food, put lemon in everything. Yeah, it brings vitamin C into you and also ups your pH. Same as like taking some sodium bicarbonate every day or every other day or whatever is comfortable. You can check in internet what would be good for you to do, or check with a naturopath in terms of the dosages. Yeah, it's very good for your digestive system. But in terms of lemon, what you can do when you make a lemonade, wash that lemon real well and get a scraper and scrape the peel in there and give somebody a lemonade. And then that lemon person is going to say, what do you put in this lemonade? Wow. And then you'll find more vitamin C in the peel than in the juice of the lemon. We have a little break coming up. Yeah, we're pretty much finishing up here. Any other questions? Okay. Okay. So we have here 15 types of treatments, and I have a list of them. And those treatments, depending when I do a test on you, we're gonna do the arm test on you to see what is that you need, and we go top down, like we just did it with you. What's your name again? I'm sorry. Kathy. We just did it with Kathy, and I normally don't ask the person what your issues are, but I start running an electromagnetic test on you, comparing your body and the resistance of your body against frequencies that were recorded in this kit from a body in good stance, when a body that was healthy. So that way, when your body needs something has an issue in a particular organ, your brain is wants a little bit of that frequency, because then we're going to do an average of those two frequencies, so the brain is craving for some of that. Once I detect something wrong with one of the organs or suborgans, then I go now through the frequencies of antidotes of parasites, fungus, bacteria, or chemicals, or whatever, and then we keep dipping in there. And so now we get a makeup of what your body needs. So now out of those treatments that we make at the moment, because this is homeopathic, we do it at the moment, we do it specifically for each of you, then you take that and you take it in a homeopathic form. If you work, I normally recommend it every 2 hours when you work, 2 sprays in the mouth. If you don't work, or if you're at home, every hour, one of each treatment that we give you. If there is pain, every 10 minutes until the pain goes away, 2 to 4 hours normally, until at least it's bearable. If you have an infection or something like that, the same way, you just keep treating yourself until the symptom keeps swindling and swindling and swindling away. And also, you have to make sure that you take away what causes the problem. So, if I go back home and I'm taking something, and something causes a specific symptom, arthritis or whatever, but I keep eating sausages, and then I find out that my arthritis doesn't go away. You say, I'm taking your treatment, but my arthritis doesn't go away, I'm still limping. Yeah, but you haven't changed your eating habits. And you're still poisoning yourself with the same thing that caused that problem. So you need to contribute with yourself. So lots of times I ask people when they come and see me, do you really want to get healed? Do you want to pay the price? Is it that expensive? I said, no. The question is, do you want to pay the price of changing your habits? And lots of people don't want to change the price. Don't want to pay the price. Like one man had sores on his legs. Sores on the legs like that, when they're oozing out, they usually go away with between 1 and 3 months, depending on what they do. But this particular man said, he took the treatments once and he said, if I have to stop eating pork, I'd rather keep my sores on my legs. Because I asked one of his family members, why Don Juan didn't come? Oh, he said that he'd rather keep the sores of his legs than stop eating pork. Okay, he could have substituted for steak. So if we have the ability to be able to make a little bit of a switch, it's going to cost us less to feed ourselves. It's going to be very healthy, and it's going to be very good for us. The other issue in nutrition is that sometimes we don't eat all of the things that we really need. We tend to be monkeys of certain customs, that we keep repetitively doing the same thing and eating the same thing. So we every day eat the same thing. But the body is composed of many different items. Therefore, we need to eat fruits, we need to eat vegetables, we need to eat protein, we need to eat minerals. And the most deficient items that I find in people starts with fats, then enzymes, then amino acids, and then sulfates and phosphates, which are salts. And there's a tendency in the market for people not to use salt, because salt is bad for you. So you go and buy something called no salt, which is more full of chemicals. But even the Bible, even Jesus equated us being the salt of the earth. So it must be something good in salt.
Salt and light.
Yeah, if we equate it with life and being adding flavorings, to good flavorings to things on earth. So our body, like some Himalayan salt, it says in the labels, contains up to 80% of the minerals that your body needs. So, what are the other minerals that I normally find that people lack? Zinc, magnesium, and calcium. But usually the calcium is not because you don't eat it. Usually it is because it's not bioavailable at your body because you don't eat enough fats to process the calcium. So you dump the calcium. That's why you end up with kidney stones, gallbladder stones, liver stones, because you don't process the calcium. The calcium gets processed, again, minerals get processed with oils, with fats. So those fats, my high recommendation for eating fats is good source of granola with lots of seeds, bird seed, and all kinds of stuff in there. You need to eat those every day. Because the life source of a big plant and a tree is in the seeds. And it has oils. With a little seed, you plant it in the ground, and it has everything that it needs to make a big tree. So when you eat them, you're eating the essence of a tree, the essence of a plant. And we need those.
I mean, do we chew the seeds enough in granola? I mean, like bird seeds and things like that? Just, you know, if you eat the seed and you end up swallowing it without really grinding it up and chewing it, I mean, does the body absorb?
Some of them gets absorbed. The seed needs to be cooked. We cooked it at 170 degrees, or not more than 180 degrees, to not kill the enzymes for about 12 hours. Once the granola is made, Becky is an expert in doing that, right behind you. And then my recommendation is when you eat granola, make yourself a smoothie with any type of fruits or any fruit that you like. One day will taste more like mango, the other day more like papaya, the other day more like pineapple, the other day more like an apple, or whatever. You put it in the blender, you make a smoothie, so that way you break down all those seeds so you have a much higher level of absorption. Because when you eat it like that, then some of that just works as fiber only.
Do you soak the granola then so that it becomes, the seeds become softer?
You can do that. You can leave it there 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it becomes a lot softer once it's been cooked for a good time. Yeah. We have also a treatment called detox. Detox is a treatment that I made in order to be able to spray the food and the drinks when you go out to eat. Since potable water, we already defined I didn't define potable water. I just repeated what the World Health Organization defined as potable water, which contains chlorine, but the chlorine contains certain levels of chlorine where it's allowed in the potable water to coexist 50 to 300 colonies of E. coli, which is feces. Depending on the country where you go, I think France is like 150, the maximum levels of E. coli. So if they allow E. coli to be in the water because they don't put enough chlorine, so imagine that you're always not just eating E. coli, but also ingesting other stronger bacteria than E. coli, like Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, and Clostridium, which are very deadly. So when you spray with the antidotes, electromagnetic antidotes, the water potable water, when you go to a restaurant that have potable water, or you drink some of that water, like the one she was drinking, with detox, then electromagnetically that gets rid of that bacteria and pathogens in the food. So you're better off. Might not get rid of everything, but you're much better off. Go to the 90-10 rule again. Get rid of some of it, your body's better off. We're going to finish here. Something else that I left out? I covered too much.
Okay, a lot of you have already scheduled appointments for evaluations with Dr. Walter. He is going to be here until Friday. Friday. So if you haven't scheduled an appointment and you want to, please let me know, and I'll try to fit you in with what's already on the books. When you come to see Dr. Walter, make sure that you bring any of your foods, any supplements that you take, any medications that you take, so he can evaluate them. Also, you should probably bring a sample of your water. Best way to do that is to get a jar, a glass jar if possible.
I'm sorry, the best one is an empty water bottle from any water bottle. You just rinse it in the water that you normally use, potable water, and then fill it up again and bring the little bottle.
It doesn't have to be this much, just bring enough for him to test.
Yes.
And let's see, what else did I want to say? Well, you can Loretta has something that she was distributing that has to do with taking care of food and stuff, right? And purchasing and all that. Yeah, it's
And where am I going to be testing people, evaluating people? They all know that.
They know, we have different locations where he's going to be to help out with people for the convenience of.
Charlene is the granola for stuff?
Oh, I'm sorry, that was the other thing. Becky, we have some granola that we brought, Becky made, so you can purchase that. It's those bags, did you say, Becky? Excuse me, are they like $6 a bag?
Yes.
$6 a bag. And if you need anything like that, just we'll try to get some phone number. Actually, do you mind if I give your phone number, Becky? No, that's fine. Okay, so if you wanted to order any future granola, just call Becky 610-269-2767. My cards are back there if you need anything, if you want to. Okay, and then the water purifiers are how much?
$400, and I only have 7 with me here. I can ship other ones if you people want some. You can buy them later if you can right now. But there's only 7 available right now. You need a plumber. If you're not a plumber, I'm a plumber. I worked in Rhode Island many years, giving maintenance in the summers to pay for my school in a summer camp, and that was my job, to maintain the camp running.
Does the water purifier work on public and well water?
Any water, yes. Any water, as long as water runs through it.
If you have a reverse osmosis system already, does it have to be disengaged?
No, not necessarily. You can still put it there. That way you have water and when you take a shower, when you brush your teeth in the bedroom, and so on and so forth, because usually the reverse osmosis, you put it for the spigot in your kitchen. And is it large enough so they can wash the dishes with it? Your reverse osmosis.
Yeah, it's pretty good size, I think. Yeah.
And are you washing the dishes with it? No, I'm using it. See, that's the problem. They use it only for drinking. And then you want water anywhere in the house. So that way when you wash dishes, whatever. See, let me tell you something. Right now, the soap that you use to wash dishes does not kill bacteria or parasites. So when you wash the water in the regular spigot, the bacteria, when that water dries up, bacteria stay in your plate. And then when you boil the water, like for example, for making rice, that doesn't kill all the bacteria. Some of these bacteria have the ability to float in the steam. So boiled water not necessarily will kill all bacteria. So this works for everything in the house. One, it's not a filter, one purifier. Yeah, for the whole house, yeah. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much for being here today and taking a little bit of your time. I hope it helps your lives to better your life for those that are willing to change a little bit your customs and eating habits. You're very welcome.